Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Today is going to be a huge unboxing, big box, um, from Stackery. I basically been collecting a bunch of stuff and getting it sent to Stackery. This box, I'm going to do this as 2 videos just because I know there's a ton of stuff in that box, and it's going to be like 2 hours probably just for me to go through it. It's that massive. So without further ado, let's get into this box. Okay. So you can see it's quite huge. It's just so big. Okay, gotta put it on the floor. So get through all the bubble wrap. I'm just gonna throw bubble wrap all over the place here. Lots of bubble wrap. So they wrapped it really well, which is great. I like this kind of stuff. It's quite good at protecting the comics. And we'll get into, I'll do one big stack. And there's like 2 more big stacks. And another big stack. So I'm going to do these 2 big stacks first. So in this video, you're going to get to see, looks like all the slabs. So this is going to be a good video. A lot of slabs in this one, so a lot of stuff in that one too, but that's going to be for tomorrow. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'm going to get into this first stack of books, and it's mostly slabs, and there's some really big books in here. Like, I mean, really big, really kind of cool stuff that is pretty exciting. I'm like really excited to get into this. One sec here, I just got to find out how to open it because it's a lot of bubble wrap. Okay, so getting into all the slabs. There's a bunch of slabs here. This is like, so normally I save the slabs to the end, but today you guys are fortunate because I'm doing like all the slabs, like there's just a bunch of slabs and I'm doing them right at the beginning. So the first slab is one that I sort of bought because the prices have really come down on this book. This book had gone up through the roof during the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. And, oh my goodness, I believe, I'm not sure, I'm going to have to ask about it, but it looks like it got cracked. I'm not sure how that happened, but it is definitely cracked. It is an old CGC case, and it's Truth number 1. This is the first appearance of, what's his name? What's the guy's name? This character. He was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. He was kind of considered the first Captain America. He was a black man. Yeah, so this is Truth, Red, White, and Black. Not necessarily a series that I'm super interested in, but I kind of like getting first appearances of characters from the series that I watch, the multiple series that I watch. So that's the first one. And in the comments, you can say who that character, what his name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, wow. A really big book. This is probably the biggest in this whole unboxing. Maybe there's one other that might be bigger, but this one's huge. This is New York World's Fair comics from 1939. And this is just a really rare comic. But you'll notice a couple key things about it. One, there's this character called the Sandman, and there's another Zatara, and then there's Superman, but he's blonde. That's the cool thing. But the big thing is this Sandman guy. This is the first appearance of the Sandman. Now, it wasn't until later, I think in 1940, that he appeared in in like I think it was Detective Comics or one of those ones where that's normally considered his first appearance, but this is actually an earlier appearance. So this has been rewritten as being Sandman's first appearance. And it was actually a friend of mine who was kind of the ones that spearheaded the movement to get this book recognized as the true first appearance of the Sandman. And I have to give a shout out to Collecto6 on Instagram. He's the guy that actually was the one that wrote articles that basically confirmed that this was the first published appearance of the Sandman. So very kind of cool key book, especially with the Sandman series coming out. This is kind of a hot key. First published appearance of the Sandman. Now, it's not the same Sandman as the Neil Gaiman Sandman that they're doing the series about, but it's still the first appearance of that character. And it's kind of cool to get that Golden Age, Platinum Age kind of first appearance. Okay. I mentioned that there's another book that's even bigger. And it's hard to imagine that there's a bigger book. And this one people won't recognize as being a bigger book, but it is truly the bigger book in terms of price and in terms of the rareness of it. It's just a hard book to find. This is Women Outlaws, number 1, and this is from 1948. And this is a book that was mentioned in The Seduction of the Innocent. And the reason it was mentioned was due to Cattle Katie. And it was just sort of, they didn't like the way women were being portrayed in comics. So that's why this book was mentioned in The Seduction of the Innocent. And it's just a really great, it's Fox Publishing. It's a high grade too. Like this is a pretty high grade for what this book is. There's not that many actually above this on the census. So it's one of the highest on the census. And it even has hanging panels. It's got a lot of stuff. And it's got this nice Good Girl art on the cover. It's one of my favorite covers actually from the Good Girl art. I like this whole Western, can girl kind of style. So I kind of like that a lot. So that's a really big book. This was the most expensive in the collection. That's a pretty expensive book. Actually, it was kind of an interesting story behind that book because I was basically trying to negotiate with the guy. He wanted like $4,000 for it. I was like, I didn't want to pay that much for it. And I gradually talked him down. I got it for about $1,400. So just to give you a sense of how expensive that book is. But I talked him down. I kept on talking him down. And I was really worried because there was all these sales that were happening on Heritage that were for really high prices. So I was lucky to get it for the price that I did. And next, this one I have to kind of slice a bit. It's kind of bubble wrapped. Okay. Oh, and this is a nice slab. It's not an expensive book at all. But it's just I thought the cover was great. This is Air Fighters with Airboy number 1. And this is from Moonstone, I believe. Yeah, Moonstone. And I just thought it was a really great cover. I really like this Good Girl art cover. Basically what happened was I like the character Valkyrie. This is Valkyrie right here. And I just thought she's such a kind of cool character. She's kind of like a bad girl character, almost. She kind of is like the nemesis of Airboy. And she's just, really kind of a cool character. Sort of good, bad, a little bit of both. And this is I just thought this cover was really great. Very sexy cover. The character for this is she's just a very, sexy character. She always has that kind of sexy top thing going on. And, Valkyrie is just a really great character that I'm trying to collect all of her appearances with the modern and original. So with that being said, I also picked up this comic. And this one, oh man, I don't know if it was like the shipping. but the case is cracked really bad. Oh no, I think it might have been the shipping that they got crushed. So this is Airfighter Comics number 2, volume 2, number 2. This is the first appearance of Valkyrie, and it's a shame that it's cracked. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that it is cracked majorly. Very frustrating. So I'll show you that. I'm going to actually take it out of the plastic because it's a shame that it got cracked. It's not a high grade. This is a pretty hard to find comic, and it's usually pretty expensive. This one was in my price range, and it is major. It's just shattered. It is a shame that it is broken. This is one where I might have to get it re-slabbed just because it's so damaged. It's a 0.5 grade. It's incomplete. It's missing, I believe it's missing the centerfold. Yeah, it's missing the centerfold. But if it wasn't for that, it'd present quite nicely. If it wasn't for the cracked case, it's such a shame. I don't know. They wrapped everything really, really well. I'm just surprised that the case broke. I think because there was just too much weight, and too much weight being pressed on it, it just cracked the case. So kind of a shame on that one. So a couple cracked cases. We're not doing that well with the cracked cases. So that's a really rare book, and it's the first appearance of the Valkyrie. So just a really great book to have in the collection. And it's sad that it is with a damaged case. Also an older CGC case. Maybe the older CGC cases aren't as good. I don't know. Have you, people watching this, have you had issues with the CGC cases, the older ones, having kind of weakness? So that's kind of a shame. Okay, so we're getting into the next slab. If I can get it out. Okay, this is a kind of a cool book. This is Tales to Astonish number 91, and it's the first cover appearance of Abomination. And this book was kind of hot around the time that the Shang-Chi rumors were kind of mentioning this character would be in there. And you know, I actually have Abomination's first appearance, but I didn't. You know, he's not on the cover. It's not a really great cover for him. So I kind of wanted to get this book, and this book had gotten sort of hot. And after the movie kind of was done, I kind of waited for that price to drop back down before picking it up. So I picked it up fairly affordably, maybe about 30% cheaper than when it was at its height. So yeah, I thought it was quite good, and it's a 7.0, so a nice grade too. And fortunately, this case is not cracked, so that is a good thing. Okay, so that's the first group of slabs. Okay, this is not slabs. I thought this was going to be slabs too, but it is not. It's a bunch of stuff. Let's see. So this looks like an order that I placed from eBay, and also my comic shop. So that one group from my comic shop, and these are from eBay. So this is Wonder Woman number 66, and I'm just basically trying to get a complete run of the Golden Age Wonder Woman. This is one of the Golden Age Wonder Woman, kind of later Golden Age. And then we got Wonder Woman number 57, kind of a cool cover. And then we got, right, almost looks like there's two in this. Let me just check. Nope, just the one. Okay, they really protected it, which is nice. And then we got Creepshow, and this is really nice high grade. Actually, it's very high grade Creepshow, and this is has like so many things going for it. It's Stephen King wrote the story. It's got like almost like a Bernie Wrightston kind of style cover, but it's Kamen by Jack Kamen, and our interior art is Bernie Wrightston. So just so many really great contributors here, and it's also George A. Romero film. So if you haven't seen the original Creepshow film, it's really kind of a fun, interesting film. And it really gets into that whole EC kind of Creepshow, kind of like Tales of the Crypt kind of style. I really wanted this book for a long time. It's just one that I've been sort of hunting for, and normally it goes for like maybe $100 to $200 range, the kind of range. I was able to pick this up on and at auction for $50, so I was quite happy, and to get it at a high grade. It's a very high grade, so I quite like that. So that's a big book to get. One that I liked for a long time. Okay, so next is looks like an order that I placed from my comic shop. So there's just going to be a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. Oh, okay. So these are kind of interesting. I was sort of getting into this weird artist. And I sort of was picking up some of his stuff. This is Harold Head, Hitler's Cocaine. It's just sort of, I thought his art style was kind of reminds me of bit of Corbin, and it's Rand Holmes is the name of the artist. Just I thought his style was interesting. Okay, so that's why I was picking up his stuff. And then I was also picking up these kind of Nazi, kind of like World War II kind of style covers and stories. This is Adventures of the Rifle Brigade, and I picked up the whole set. You'll see it in here somewhere, and it's all mixed up, so it'll be a whole bunch of different things. So then I was also picking up the series of Crossed. I really like Crossed. This is an artist that I talked about in the past. This is Raul Carathas, and I just really like his artwork. I think it's really cool. Bit gory. If you if you haven't read Crossed, it's very gory. Not meant for kids at all. This is another Cross. This is Cross number 11. That was number. And then we got more Harold Head. And these ones are really quite rare, these Harold Head Hitler's Cocaine. I just really like the art style by Rand Holmes. It's interesting. This is kind of an interesting one. I'm really surprised how cheap this book is. It's actually, to me, kind of insane how cheap it is. This is Wildcats Trilogy. Now, they probably printed a million of these. Like, it's not one of that super rare in terms of the publishing, but I paid like $2 for this. I think it was $3. And it's the first appearance of a Gen 13. So just a series that I liked as a kid, Gen 13. Really, really great, to get their first appearance. This is, and as I said, it's a dollar bin book. So Wildcats Trilogy number 1. So look for that. It's definitely one you can pick up cheaply. And it's funny that it is their first appearance. The next thing that I was picking up was I'm really getting into finding like good girl art and good girls from the 40s and like the golden age characters. And I'm picking up a lot of the stuff that is the modern takes on those characters. So there's a character called Domino Lady, and this is like a small series that they had of Domino Lady. This is Domino Lady number 1. I thought it was kind of a cool cover. And then we got Domino Lady Sherlock Holmes. Okay. And another one that I picked up that was kind of interesting is Mr. Monster. Mr. Monster Attacks. So these are not just nothing. These are all like dollar bin books. Nothing super spectacular. Okay. This one was a little bit more pricey that I'm going to show. And this is Dominatrix. This was a Gene Simmons creation, so I thought this was kind of interesting. So I picked up the whole set of this as well. So this is Dominatrix number 3, lesson number 3. Instead of, they don't go by issue, they go by lessons because she's a dominatrix and she's teaching you. I just thought that was kind of interesting. And then another series that I picked up, just the first few issues of, was I didn't even realize they had a comic series for this, which was Game of Thrones, a really great TV series. So I thought, wow, they have a comic. I thought it would be worth picking up. So this is George R. Martin's Game of Thrones, number 5. And then we got, it's all mixed up, so it's a little bit out of order when I show these, but this is Dominatrix number 2, or number 1, sorry, number 1. That's number 1. Then we got, it's going to be all mixed up, sorry. Game of Thrones number 4. And then we got Teen Titans Academy with a Red X. This is number 1. I just thought it was interesting. And it's, as I said, it's all mixed up. It's like, this is Cross number 8. And another series that I've been picking up is stuff related to Mars attacks. So I recently picked up this book back here, this Weird Science, number 16. And it's the first appearance of Mars attacks. Like if you look at the character right there, it's kind of Mars attacks. And it sort of led me down this rabbit hole of collecting kind of Mars attacks like covers. I actually liked Mars attacks. I thought it was kind of interesting. So this is like Mars attacks, Mr. Monster attacks, and it's got like Mars attacks on it. So I thought that was kind of cool. And that's number 1. And then we got George R. Martin, Game of Thrones number 2. And then we got number 3 of that series. And we got number 1. So I got the first few issues. Just I didn't pick up the whole set. I think there's like 20 some odd in the whole series. So it's actually quite a big series of comics. Something like that. I believe it's like something like that. And you can tell me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I believe it's something like that. So this is kind of cool. I think it's cool to get those series. It's one of those things where I believe that, you know, these comic series that are from hot shows, people will go back to and will want, you know, for nostalgic reasons. And that's why I bought it. So I think they're really good spec if you're looking for a speculation. And they're very affordable. I bought them for cover price, basically. And then we got more Domino Lady. This is a different one. Domino Lady number 3. So I thought it was a bit of a sexy cover. Then we got Teen Titans 1999. And a friend of mine told me about this on Instagram. And, you know, I picked it up. This is the first appearance of some character that's from, you know, one of the Flash or one of those series. And they just recommended it to me. So this is Teen Titans number 1. It's from the 1999 series. So kind of a cool, it's a bad guy that made their first appearance in there. I forgot the name. And then we got Crossroads Badlands number 6. I already had the first 5 issues, so I'm just picking up the little bit later issues of that. And then we got the Brigade. This is these Nazi covers I was kind of collecting. So it was Kiwi that actually recommended these ones to me. And this is Rifle Brigade number 2. I just thought this was kind of a cool cover. So I picked up the whole set. I think it's only 4 in the set of that one. And then we got Cross Badlands number 10. And that is the first half of this unboxing. There was some pretty major books in this unboxing. Like, and it's sad that one of them really was damaged. Like, I'm just looking at it and it kind of makes me very sad. Really sad to see this, actually. where I'm not sure if you can see. Definitely, you can see the top being damaged. It is really sad to see that. If it was on the back, I would almost forgive it, but on the front, it's really, really just disturbing. This is a really great comic, really rare, hard to find. Um, One of the things that happens, and the reason why it's a zero point 0.5, is a lot of these Golden Age comics, especially during the war. This is from 1943. Um, they had like real shortages of like some basic things. Like, so what they would do is they would use like these smaller staples, and they wouldn't necessarily penetrate as far as they needed to go through these thick comic books. So what would happen is they wouldn't really grab onto that centerfold, and often the centerfolds would fall out. So you'll find that when you look for comics from the Golden Age, from that kind of World War II era, you'll find a lot of the time the centerfold is missing. So it's one of those things. If you ever buy raw comics, always check that the centerfold is included, because a lot of the time they'll pop out. So that's what was really wrong with this book. It also has some writing at the top here, but man, it's just such a great book, and it's just such a shame that it is damaged the slab. So I'm going to have to probably get this reslabbed. But maybe they can put it in a smaller slab. They put in this huge magazine style slab, which is a little weird, but it's just a great one. It's Valkyrie, our boy, and the Maidens. Oh, Air Maidens. So this is also the first appearance of the Air Maidens, but they're not as important. Are you with me? Not even Skywolf, the Iron Ace, Black Angel, or the Flying Dutchman can save you now. It's like kind of cool. I just really like Valkyrie. Just a cool character, kind of sexy character from the Golden Age. So again, it's a shame that it's got damaged, but that has been the first part of my Stackery unboxing. Please leave your comments below and watch tomorrow's video with the second half. And there's some really big books in the second half. So definitely you want to stay tuned for that. Again, thanks for watching. Bye for now.